The creature moved in perfect silence, its elongated shadow stretching across the cold metal floor of the derelict spacecraft. Its obsidian exoskeleton absorbed the dim light, rendering it nearly invisible in the darkness. Every motion was calculated, predatory, efficient. The xenomorph was a masterpiece of evolutionary horror, an organism designed solely for survival, reproduction, and death. To understand the xenomorph was to dissect its anatomy, layer by layer, peeling back the biological nightmare that made it one of the most lethal creatures in the known universe. The first line of defense and offense was its exoskeleton. Composed of a complex, polarized silicone polymer, the creature's black carapace was nearly impervious to conventional weaponry. Bullets could ricochet harmlessly off its surface, and blades often shattered against its dense, interlocking plates. The exoskeleton was not static. It grew with the creature, molting when necessary, shedding damaged sections to reveal fresh, hardened layers beneath. The smooth, biomechanical texture of its hide was eerily seamless, as if the creature had been forged rather than born. This was no accident. The xenomorph's DNA was adaptive, borrowing traits from its hosts, refining them into something far more lethal. The exoskeleton also served as a thermal regulator, allowing the creature to withstand extreme temperatures, from the freezing vacuum of space to the scorching heat of industrial coolant vents. The elongated, domed skull of the xenomorph was both iconic and terrifying. Beneath the smooth crest lay a secondary, inner jaw, a hydraulic, piston-driven nightmare that could snap forward with enough force to punch through reinforced plating. The inner jaw was lined with razor-sharp teeth, each serrated to maximize tissue damage. When not in use, it retracted into a protective sheath, keeping the delicate mechanism safe from harm. The creature's vision was a subject of debate. It had no visible eyes, yet it navigated flawlessly, even in pitch darkness. Some theorized it perceived the world through pheromones, thermal imaging, or even echolocation. Others believed it saw in a spectrum beyond human comprehension, its senses attuned to the electrical impulses of living prey. Perhaps the most infamous aspect of the xenomorph's biology was its blood. A pressurized, molecular acid flowed through its veins, capable of eating through multiple decks of a starship within minutes. The blood was a defense mechanism. Any injury risked a catastrophic chemical reaction, ensuring that even in death, the creature was deadly. The acid's composition was unstable, reacting violently with most materials. Some scientists speculated that the blood was not purely acidic but contained nanoscopic organisms that accelerated corrosion. This theory explained why the substance continued to burn long after initial contact, as if it were alive, feeding on whatever it touched. Despite its skeletal appearance, the xenomorph was a powerhouse of raw strength. Its musculature was a dense network of hyper-efficient fibers, capable of explosive bursts of speed and terrifying physical force. It could scale walls with ease, its clawed digits finding purchase on even the smoothest surfaces. The tail, an extension of its spinal column, acted as both a balancing tool and a weapon, tipped with a bladed appendage that could impale a human with surgical precision. The creature moved with an eerie, unnatural grace. It didn't breathe, at least not in any conventional sense. Its respiratory system was internalized, possibly filtering gases directly through its exoskeleton, eliminating the need for panting or heavy exertion. This made it utterly silent, a ghost in the darkness. The xenomorph's life cycle was a grotesque parody of reproduction. It began with the facehugger, a spider-like creature designed for one purpose: implantation. The facehugger would ambush a host, clamp onto their face, and insert an embryo down their throat. The embryo, a chestburster, would then gestate rapidly, feeding on the host's nutrients before violently erupting from their ribcage. The speed of growth was horrifying. Within hours, the chestburster would molt into a fully formed xenomorph, inheriting traits from its host. Human hosts produced the classic drone. Other species resulted in variations, some larger, some more bestial, all equally deadly. The queen was the apex of this cycle, a massive, egg-laying behemoth that served as the hive's heart. She was a biological factory, producing countless eggs to ensure the species' survival. Her intelligence was frightening. She could strategize, command lesser drones, and even exhibit something akin to rage when threatened. Xenomorphs exhibited pack behavior, but whether they communicated through pheromones, subsonic vibrations, or a true hive mind remained unclear. Some accounts suggested they shared a collective consciousness, with the queen as the central intelligence. Others believed they operated on pure instinct, their actions dictated by an ingrained drive to hunt and propagate. Their intelligence was undeniable. They set traps. They ambushed with precision. They learned from their prey's tactics, adapting in real time. Some even displayed a chilling awareness of their victim's fear, toying with them before striking the killing blow. The xenomorph was not a mere animal. It was a biological weapon refined over millennia, or perhaps engineered by something far older. Its anatomy was a symphony of lethal adaptations, each component serving a singular purpose: to kill, to survive, to spread. To study the xenomorph was to stare into the abyss of evolution's darkest possibilities. And in that abyss, something stared back. Silent, hungry, patient, waiting.